To keep you updated on the capital and financial markets, here is a recap of what happened.
Canada will create its first sovereign wealth fund to provide financing for large infrastructure projects, Prime Minister Mark Carney said. The fund will be seeded with an initial $25 billion Canadian endowment from the federal government, Carney said as he unveiled the plan in Ottawa. The new vehicle, named the Canada Strong Fund, will be set up as a professionally managed, independent corporation to invest alongside the private sector in nation-building projects on a fully commercial basis, the Prime Minister said. Xav Fong, director of LSEG Lipper Asia Pacific Research, says global funds received $2.4 trillion in net inflows in 2025, the third highest amount in over a decade. Malaysia drew a total of $6.1 billion in net inflows last year, with money market and bond funds accounting for the highest numbers. Industry players should look beyond numbers, however, and take note of the artificial intelligence trend that is fast changing the industry, from data crunching and investment research to decision-making, client engagement, product development, and more. The industry is at a tipping point where AI has evolved from a peripheral analytical aid into a core engine of the investment decision-making process. For global fund managers, it is no longer an experimental overlay. It is increasingly embedded in the center of research, portfolio construction, and risk management workflows, Fong says. In the collective investment sector, the downward trend in fees for French funds continued in 2025 for equity funds and diversified funds. From 2010 to 2025, the average annual fees for French equity funds fell from 2.3% to 1.3%, a decrease of approximately 43%. For diversified funds, they fell from 2.1% to 1.3%, a decrease of approximately 40%. To provide a clear picture of fee trends, the annual fees tracked in the newsletter are ongoing fees, fund management and operating fees. Investors also pay transaction costs and any performance fees. For a complete and detailed estimate of average fund fees, the AMF recommends consulting the annual report of the Observatory of Financial Savings Products, published for the first time in July 2025. Malaysians typically begin earning more than they spend from age 29, with their income surplus peaking at 44 at about 14,523 ringgit per person annually, according to the Department of Statistics Malaysia. The surplus then gradually declines, with individuals returning to a deficit by around age 56 as income falls and expenses, particularly healthcare, increase. The findings are based on Malaysia's National Transfer Accounts 2022, which examine how income and spending change over a person's lifetime. The data shows that younger and older age groups tend to spend more than they earn, while working-age individuals generate a surplus that supports the broader economy. Blindly following the old Wall Street adage "sell in May and go away" may prove costly, as investors weigh whether to call time on a powerful market recovery heading into a historically turbulent stretch of the year. The S&P 500 has already staged a dramatic comeback, recovering a near 10% decline in just 11 trading sessions after a sell-off triggered by disruptions to global oil supplies. That snapback has left investors asking, is the worst over, or is a seasonal storm still coming? You hate to say to ignore "sell in May, go away." But it hasn't worked at all in the last decade, said Ryan Dietrich, chief market strategist at Carson Group. Investors would really have hurt themselves if they blindly, truly sold in May, went to cash, or even if they went defensive, he said, referring to the market performance over the last 10 years. Read the latest issue of the e-Zine available at FIMM's official website to stay updated about what's going on in the industry. Watch the latest episode of Coffee Talk to find out about what is going on in the industry, exclusively on FIMM's official YouTube channel.
This has been the FIMM TV Weekly Recap. Be informed, stay updated, be sure to like, share and subscribe.